Welcome back, everyone. I am going to show you the list, a big list of movies in this video. Okay. So anyone who hasn't seen my videos, which obviously not many people will have seen it because, well, there is a few other people that have seen it, but I'm not sure if because they've got my, they know what my old YouTube video channel is, but it's the same name, so I suppose. Is it? It says Adrian, my name, Adrian Batshon. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go. So, I'm going to give you a list of films to look at where the 19 is placed. Okay? Because I'll put it to you that this has been a setup and it's obvious to anyone who looks at it. Because it's too obvious when you have a look at it. So I'm going to give you a list now, okay? I'm going to go through just the 19s. We're not going to, like, I've gone through other things. I'll go through other things. We'll go through stuff. At least 34 movies. Okay? I will go into a few other things because there's things I'm going to have to explain for the just the helpful thing of it. Okay, all right, ready? All right. Doesn't matter. I'm going to repeat things. So I'll probably said it already, but I'm going to do just a list to show you. So in Point Break, movie with Keanu Reeves. It's 1991, I think. His partner, the one the blonde guy gets in the movie. He's at the pool, and he goes, "What is the point of retrieving bricks from the bottom of the pool?" And sorry, he says, I fired my gun over 19 times in the line of duty, right? That's where they put the 19 there in that movie. Besides drinking Coronas during watching the bank robbery videos. Corona, obviously, that means crown. And then we go to Corona, Crown, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is got to do with rings, earrings, crown. And that's the dragon, Saturn. That's the dragon. Right? So in Jordan Maxwell was talking about Saturn, right? Which one's Saturn? That one, the dragon. See, that's the dragon. See? So there we go. Got the dragon there. And then, so they obviously, that's, we can see that when you look up the thing, that's Venus, and that's Mercury. From what I've looked at, and that's obviously the one. So 1, 2, and then Uranus. Okay, Uranus. I just find it funny because Uranus, like it's your anus, and I don't mean that like in a funny way because the fact I'm not being funny, but like it's the monkey is yang metal, right? And when I researched what the yang metal organ in the body, everyone's body is, it's the large intestine. And what's the large intestine connected to? Uranus. It's a joke. I know. It's not a joke, but it's a joke. It's yeah. Anyway, okay. So the equalizer, number 2. 28 minus 9, which is we talked about the last night, 19. He says it twice. That's SS. All right. Nick's suicide in the Deer Hunter. 19 on the television. On the television straight after the clip where we see him, acting all dead, and Robert De Niro's shaking his head and stuff. Cape Fear. 12 in Roman numerals with a Romans 19 on his left arm. And left, like I said, John Maxwell talks about the left and right wing politics and how the left is got to do with the left side of the heart, which has got to do with sinister stuff, like sinister, and he talks about a lot of things like demonstration, all that stuff you need to go into. I'll probably do another video, not now, but I'll do another video another day where I'm listening to him and I'm saying what he's saying. And it's, I'll do that again because I did it before. Excuse me. Okay. Born on the 4th of July. I already said that. You got so weird. Yesterday exactly. No, besides that one. When Ron gets shot, the scene, Tom Cruise and the music and all that stuff. Helicopter has 19 on it that flies into the scene. The first thing, it goes like that. Literally a 19 right there. But then that helicopter with the 19, I was like, oh, if it's 19, that's not. Okay, well, that helicopter with the 19 on it is the one that happens to crash when Ron gets shot, which is in your mind. Obviously, 19 is there as this scene is being played out. I don't think it's a coincidence. Anyway, go on. So 19. Yeah, yesterday. 19 on the shirt of the guy in Training Day. Besides, like I said, he's 19 months. What's his name's character? What's his name? Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hunt is a character. Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke. Yeah, Ethan Hawke. He's been a cop 19 months, right? 19 months, right? It's a random number. And then 19 on the shirt of when they go into the jungle after the Macy Gray. I think it's Macy Gray, the singer. That scene, they take the money. Denzel takes the money and goes in the car and they have a shootout. After the shootout, so after an intense, it's always usually after an intense scene or during an intense scene, they place the 19. Obviously, this one was the 19 you saw after that was when they go into the jungle. There's one guy on a bike, right? And he's driving on the left side. Left, like Romans 19 on the left side. There's I got another movie. It's called Glass, which I'll get to. They're having a conversation, and he's talking about saying things that are not true, and it's indefensible and all that stuff. There's a 19 right behind them on the wall. They each get a turn of the 19. It's the actress in I don't know the name. The actress in American Psycho. American Psycho's got one. I found the American Psycho one. The 19's in the dream sequence, right? When he's going on a killing spree, and he tries to put the cat in the thing, and then he shoots the old lady. Straight after that, he walks around the corner, and there's a 19 there. Right? That's where the 19 they put there. And then I was on something, right? So this is recent because it's got the 5 on the shirt because of Training Day. There's a 519. The 519 is they didn't just put the 19; they actually have a 5 there as well. So, like in other movies, it's like the bomb is placed on the 5th floor, and then the last thing we see as a time on the timer is 19 before it goes through the scene, and there's no more numbers. They do that as well. So they placed that there, and then enemy of the state, they've got a lot of 19s actually through it in the time of changing and staying and all these different things. But that movie is way worse because it's, in terms of the 19, it's also got the 9/11 repeating statements. Like I said, with Andrew Jolie's dad playing the character of a man who's born 9/11. Then you can go, oh yeah, but it's got to do with the police force and 9/11. Well, that's exactly right. So that's exactly right. That's why with 9/11 they had it on 9/11 because it's the same number, and they want to say it's something else. But again, it was a military tactic. Basically, it's military. It's a war. It's a fight. Because like we like to say, oh, it's war. It's war. Well, then that's the tactic that was used. Yeah. So 19 hijackers, like seriously. Which is coincidental that I actually, not coincidental, but I had that. I looked it up and I looked at, before I even saw David Icke say that, I was like, I had it written down. But yeah, it's for information for some people. Anyway, you can absorb that. 19 months a cop. 19, yeah, it's the 19, we said that. The 5 is at the end of the movie behind, is that Alonzo? Is that his name? I'm hearing Alonzo. There's a guy with an orange shirt. He has a 5 on it. There's a big guy with a bald head. He's behind Denzel Washington when Ethan Hawke's got the gun on him, shoots him in the ass. So that's where the 5 is, and then the 19. So they have 519. There's no other numbers. Literally, I've checked, and there's no other numbers they show. So that's that's how calculated they are, right? 19. Be Up My Ass About You Too in the film Bandits with Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton, right? And Kate Blanchett. Did I say the right one? I'm thinking Catherine. Kate Blanchett. No, Kate Blanchett seems right. Anyway, you look it up and you'll see it's the name, but definitely the 2 first ones I gave is right. So Bandits, 2001, I think. There's actually a few 19s in there because besides for that 19, Be Up My Ass About You Too, the ending where they have the cops having the bank theft, there's a big 1900, right? And 1901 is one side and 19. So that's 19 plus 1, that's 20, and then there's 19. So that's why. There's more to that. There's more to that actually, because there's like the first car they rob. Look at the license plate. The numbers they add up, and also the car name, Chrysler, because the Chrysler building is in the shape of a syringe, as Jordan Maxwell was talking about in one of his videos. Said it wasn't an accident, which brings me to also a flash of the movie The Knowing, where the last building to blow up from the sun is that building that looks like a syringe, the Empire State Building. So then you got 19 more meetings after this in, what would I say? Yeah, whatever. I think that's 19 more meetings after this. Besides for the night in the Fifth Element, like I said yesterday, there's the in depth, the 18. You see the hand, and we found a survivor. One survivor was like a hand, right? They're taking it down the hallway. There's an 18 in reflection. Now, I've found that they put these things together. So if you want to put 1 plus 9 plus 1 plus 8 together, and you just plus them minus it, that actually equals to 19. Besides the fact that the room that they take the hand into is room 19, is 19th room. Corbin Dallas's room number, the numbers calculate to 19. They calculate them together, they add them together, they add 19. That's an accident? That was just... No, it wasn't. Anyway, so You got Stolen Identity. Yeah, that's Stolen Identity with Liam Neeson. Fifth floor, the bomb's on the fifth floor, and it goes off. You look at the timer, and then find where the 19 is there, and you tell me that's not. Even the way that the camera pans and turns to it, and then you just see that perfectly the middle number is 19. I think it's like 18. You see pan, it's on, it turns from 18 to 19, and then clicks to 20, and then the cut, like as soon as it clicks to 20, it cuts. So you get a full second of a 19 in a heightened, intense scene. And in that movie, they also have a connection between genetically modified organisms, and the whole movie you're unconsciously, this comes to me and I have to say it anyway, but I'll elaborate it. So they are made you unconsciously. The movies are so deeply hypnotizing that when you're watching it, you're actually getting emotionally involved. So you want to see certain things happen, even though nothing, obviously it shows that all those years that we watched a movie and we felt tense and stressed about it, like we were solving a problem, like we were helping solve the issue. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, I'm just gonna say that was a soft. Say it. We just say it. Solve the issue by getting stressed by the acting itself. It's almost as if, like, if we don't act stressed for a film, we're mentally ill in some weird way. Like, we unconsciously feel like you have to be sad during this scene, you have to be happy during this scene. Usually, like, that's. I was just thinking about something I was reading yesterday about, or an advertisement where I don't want to go into that right now. Something about someone. No, I'll leave it. Yeah. So, yeah, that was Stolen Identity. 19 years, one guy says. 5 years on the chain. Les Miserables with Liam Neeson again. When those guys are testifying against another guy who's not him, who's not Jean Valjean. Is that right? But you get the idea. One of the guys says he was 19 years with him. I knew him. I was with him 19 years. 5 years on a chain. The other guy says I was 5 years on a chain with him. 5, 19. It's so obvious. 19 sector. On the radio in Blade Runner. And another quote just keeps coming out. If you're not cop, you're little people. So it's like, I'll put that line in there. There's a lot of things in that. There's a lot of things, like breaking down even the chess game. I've got the words they use. If you look deeply at it and you know the basic formula code, it's really cool. Cool. But it's only cool because I have a feeling that this is the only way, one of the ways to do that thing that we're trying to do. Okay. So the sector 19 of the radio, when he kills the father of AI, there's codes they're given, right? There's codes. The guy that leads him to there has a code. It calculates to 19. That's another thing, right? So get my book out, one of the books I have here that has a detailed description of the films. I'm going to go through and just tell you things, okay? But that's one of them, right? But this is, I'm just going to go through 34 movies right now so you can go and find it yourself, the 19s itself. Then we can talk about the other stuff. So 19 over the radio, hear it, listen to it. So when he's going, Nexus is going down the elevator after he's done the thing, he's like got that thing. Then it goes on the radio, it's like Sector 19. We need a car, Sector 19. Sector 19. A few voices saying Sector 19 over and over again. Okay. Riot, 1969 film with Gene Hackman. 17 guys plus 2 guys, 19 guys go over the wall. And he says 19 guys. 17 guys plus us. So 17 again is L-E-L, Saturn, right? 5 plus 12. And that's where I've got the Nazi number. Where the Nazi number actually comes from is not got to do with the real numbers that was done. It's just because it's just a little setup. It's basically a simple thing, and just give them 17, because 17 is L-E-L, which is Saturn, which is the god of the Jews, and because obviously the Jews lived there as the base for many years since Portugal has been removed from Portugal and Spain, and moved to Germany, and that was the base until Israel became thing, which was part of a plan, because Israel, like I said, Israel, IS. Well, Jordan Maxwell, he says everything basically, but he didn't say the number stuff with the calculative thing of 64. But it's not a coincidence why 64, I plus S plus R plus A plus E plus L calculates 64. That's the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, right? Which computer programming and all that stuff. So that pretty much computer programming leads to artificial intelligence. So that's basic it is. So we're all involved in this sort of thing. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Start. So, Shawshank Redemption, he was in jail for how long? 19 years, right? 19 years jail, and Morgan Freeman's character was in for 40. And the 40 is also another number they put in there because of 40 years in the desert and stuff like that, which, we know we've talked about 40 years in the desert, 400 years slavery of the Jews in Egypt, which is not a real event. It's not a real thing, 400 years, but it's got to do with the planet. So Pisces age, the rabbit, Mars, is the 4th planet from the sun and the 4th sign. So you got the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit. And again, rabbi, put a T at the end of it, spells rabbit. So it's not a coincidence because the Bible and the thing that's happened. That's what's happened. Okay? Then so 19 years jail, but there's 40 years and there's 12. He visits 12 banks. He says, say 12 banks, there's a dozen banks. Movie 7. There's a 19 after the lust. Oh, would you look at that? So the room lust is on a door, number 9. They actually have the seconds recording after that where the timer goes to 19. It hits 20, but it hits 19 in a weird way, okay? In a very specific way. And like I said, 19. So 1 plus 9 plus 9 equals 19. So that's the other thing. But besides that 19, there is a few things like in the room. So 33, they put 33. So in the room of greed, right? Greed, where the guy's murdered and has written on the floor, where it leads to, wow, I didn't forget that. I didn't forget any of it. No, not really, no. So in that room with the greed, that's where they come back, Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt's characters, and looks at the painting and finds the fingerprint behind the painting that leads them to a room where a guy is living, that is all emancipated and been for a year. It's been, so it's tongue cut out and all that stuff. So then that leads them to look up books to find John Doe, which is in room 64. So it's actually 604, which is 64. Right, it's just, what a number, as he says in the Devil's Advocate film with Al Pacino. And there's a 19 there when they say, in the song in the church, I think it's 16, 19, 12 or something, or 10. I think it's 10. 16, 19, 10. They say this number code, and they say it over and over again, and they see the mum says it. So that's where they put that 19. So 7, Morgan Freeman, I said it last night, I'll say it again. After Brad Pitt says to Gwyneth Paltrow, I love you, and they turn around and they hug each other. Morgan Freeman's listening to the TikTok thingy, the I don't know what it's called. Like they're using it for when they play piano. The thing that goes in the beginning. I counted there was 36 of them. Son, there was 36. Yeah, I'm going too deep. I mean, I'm not going too deep, but I'm just thinking, okay, 6 plus 3 is 9, plus the 19 clicks later. That's, you can say, why don't you say 36 plus 19? You can go, oh, wow. Well, there you go, you can do that. You can go 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 is 19. There you go, with just the clicks. Because I was 36 in the beginning. And then it cuts to Morgan Freeman sitting later on to 19 and grabs it and breaks it. You know what I mean? You don't hear 20, you just hear 19 and then bang. So that's where they also put the 19 there. Yeah, that's right. Last 9 and it's 19, 20 seconds. That's right, yeah. So movie Rage with Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. 19 years, one of the guys he chases onto the rooftop when he has a breakdown. So whatever scene where he breaks down and he goes crazy, he kills that guy on the rooftop. He says 19 years. He mentions 19 years in that scene before his breaks down. So again, they do this. They put 19 in that spot where there's like a specific trauma thing. You hear these things going on about trauma bonding. I hear it all, and it comes up like this is what it is. It's like something like bonding trauma to our whatever. I don't know. Even someone else can have a bit of. Score to Settle with Nicolas Cage. 19 years. So we've got 19 years there. Plus that was released in 2019. But 2019, and he's 19 years. That's how long he's been to jail for. And Rain of Fire, the 19th of October 2008. That's the number. That's what's on the newspaper in the first scene that is Christian Bale's talking and saying all that stuff. Plus, there's another 19 in the. There's two 19. There's that one, and then there's the 19 in that same little movie clip. In the beginning, you can see when they're panning and it's like desert and stuff, and it's like 1912 or something on the bottom. The movie The Knowing. Yeah, it was going into that. So much to go into with that movie. Because 1959, they go up. Sorry, I'm just going to. So in 1959, is an Earth. An Earth pig year. Okay. So, like I said, like with the movie Drive, why does he have a yellow scorpion on his back? And the scorpion is the same sign. Scorpio is the same sign as the pig. It's the same animal. It's the same thing. Right? So, excuse me. And then also when we drive, the 19 is where he's talking about how old she was when they met, and he said either that, I can't remember exactly what it is, but in that scene where he's having a conversation with him and it's the father of the son, the guy that just got out of jail. He says, "Oh, we met when we were 17 or something, 19," and then she goes, "No, 17 or something." So they mention 17, which is EL, and then they mention 19, which is the future plan in the year of the Earth Scorpion or Earth Pig, which is a yellow color. What's that mean, yellow? What's Earth? Because in the Chinese thing, you have the north element is water, south element is fire, the east, for you, east element is wood, the west is metal, and the center is earth element. So that's why they go, when some people say stuff like Egypt is the center of the landmass, and how it could connect to Mars in that way. So, and also there's like Alexander, I don't know if it's connected to it or made up or whatever, just CGI or whatever. But there's you can see Mars. They put in Alexander in the film Alexander. For some reason, Mars is the focus. They're showing Mars, right? We all think that Mars is Aries, the dragon, because Aries and the dragon are the same. But from the understanding of just looking at Master Montachia's birth chart, everything's the same element. But you have a day master and then you have an ascendant with only one choice of 12. It doesn't matter because everything, so if you go the month, he doesn't say, like in his chart, that's where I realized my birthday was apparently in Aries, but I'm not. I'm a rabbit, actually, or a Mars ruled person, Mars planet ruled, right? And then my affinity signs are Pisces, sheep, and pig. They're the best options for the Pisces, right? And the best friend for the Pisces is a dog. So yeah, I've already gone through this, and I'll go through it again. We'll go through it again about why this evolution thing is happening, or what does it mean in terms of everyone realizing the astrology and how real it is, and what it means, and knowing your planet of like because you can't change your astrology. I know there's a Kabbalist out there that says he can, but I think he's full of shit, and he's just using it as a mind fuck thing. It's like a mind fuck thing because the astrology has been changed. He can say that you can change astrology. So in a way, he's speaking a half truth. He's trying to show that yeah, we can change astrology, but you already changed it, so people don't even know what their astrology is. That's what came to me when I realized that. So anyway, so keep going. Keep going. All right, so we're done Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire, there's more things like that. Like it's set in 2020. Right? It's set in 2020. That's where he jumps forward from being a kid to an adult. It's 2020 England. Cumberland something in England. Yeah. So I was on the movie The Knowing. 1959 is an Earth pig year, right? The only other Earth pig year is 2019, 60 years ahead from that. Yeah, 60. 59 to 19. 2019, that's 60 years. So in this movie, with Knowing, the thing that comes up that has all these numbers on it of all these predictions has been under the ground for 50 years. 50, so 5, could say 5 or 50. So 959 to 2009, which is the year I saw the ship, that thing there. Right? It's 959. So, like the movie The Watchmen, where Dr. Manhattan is born in a specific year, and that year is 1959. Okay, and he goes to Mars and all that stuff. So he's all about Mars and whatever, right? That's the movie The Watchmen. I'm just connecting why they used that date. Okay, so and the movie The Knowing, the 19 is, he says October 19th, it's in a specific spot where he's trying to talk to the lady with the daughter, right? That his son, they meet at the museum. So that scene, he gets stressed and he says, October 19th, so and so is going to die. And then he says, 33 more people are going to die on this day. So they mention the 33. And then it goes deep into that. I'm not going to go into everything right now, but there's so many things like the numbers of the train and that hits each other, and not it's heaps of things, Even in that movie, he mentions Kabbalah. Why are they a dime a dozen when numbers mean something, right? So they even put it in there. It's like a mind fuck to really screw your brain up, right? They say it. They go Kabbalah, Pythagoras, all these different things. He says these different things. He goes, find meaning in numbers. Why are they a dime a dozen? Because people see what they want to see. So it's obviously someone like me who comes up and reveals it to you and show you that you're going to be subconsciously thinking that's what this is. Whatever I'm saying is just, oh my God, it just cannot be. It just cannot be. When you look, you have to look. If you can't feel it completely, I'm giving you the basic factual stuff first, right? Because feeling wise, I already knew this was a scam, but the point of showing people it is the difficult part. It's not so easy. And that's what's making them win, because you can say, oh, it's a setup, but you're not being specific enough. Not that you're not supposed to be, you're being specific enough. Like you can just know it and you know it and you feel it. But for people who need like the truth, like anyone I've shown this to, it's undeniable. They can't forget it. It's too obvious. It's not about, you have to see where it is. You have to look yourself. It's not just it's not just a 19 that's anywhere. It's in a specific scene. Like I said, like, this is strange. Why would he say that? It's on such a tipping point of the movie. They mention the 19, and then he's a part of the disaster, another disaster, and so on and forth. So on and forth, right? So we're going through that. So just keep in mind, 1959 is an Earth pig year. 1959, the only next Earth pig year is 2019. Gold color, yellow color. They put it through a lot of movies. I was saying it yesterday, the yellow car in the Snake Eyes movie, and again, I'm going to repeat that. Snake Eyes film. Snake Eyes, 2000, sorry, Charlie Kirkland gets shot in the neck on September 10. Charlie Kirk in real life gets shot in a snake year, 2025, September 10. Two years after they executed this plan to take over the Gaza Strip and all that stuff, which was absolutely calculated during COVID, which you can see through all those other things I'm talking about, how it's all, but you have to look. Like, again, you're going to have to look yourself. You just have to look up one of these books and have a look at the Chinese astrological stuff, and listen to Jordan Maxwell and have a listen to what he's saying about stuff. It's very basic, but just look at these. I'm just giving you we're on now. It's 18th film I've listed. The Wrath of Cain. The car, the silver car that one of the brothers comes out of. It's got a license plate called Trio. It says Trio 19. So that's in the Wrath of Cain. Enemy of the State, yeah, 19. See in the video game. When after the guy gets hit by the car, the kids are playing the video game, and then it goes from 17 to 19, which is like movie Drive, where he says 17 and then 19 kind of thing. Scarface, You've been away for, he goes and visits the mum. You've been away for 5 years. Actually, cinco en este or something like that. And then, so he mentions the 5, and then later on when he runs out, he goes outside, the daughter goes outside, and he's like, you're going to beat yourself up at 19? So the 519 is put there. Meet Joe Black. All about the news and the corporations and stuff like that. And he has a huge speech about John Montague, not, why he shouldn't have the power of the news, because he's going to take it and he's going to exploit it. And he says the news is not exploitable, which is exactly what COVID is, exploitation of the news. So if everyone watched those movies, what happened was because everyone, or most people, me included, overlooked. Most of the time overlooked, even though if I noticed, that's the reason why every time a movie finished, I didn't feel any better. I felt worse because something was telling me I only feel better with movies when I've found this. The only time I felt my life for a sense of I can leave the movie alone, like it's over, is when I found the 19s. When I found the code, when I found out it's all in there. That's the only time in my life where I felt, oh, okay. It's not affecting me anymore. It's like you can't run away from the movie either because everyone's watching it, everyone's into it, everyone's using it. So that's why something was like, it's in the movie. It must be in there. And I already had a few inklings because I was like just sitting there watching a movie, trying to cope with what's happened and realizing all this time wanting to do certain things. And I'm like, wait a second, this has been my enemy the whole time. So, yeah. So, yeah, Article 19, he gets fired. He gets fired by Article 19 of the Corporate Charter. Article 19. Article 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Article 7 letters. Article 19 of the Corporate Charter. So that's there. Besides for when you go to the hospital, the S in the hospital, just like the S tattoo in Equalizer, where he stabs the guy in the neck. The S is the 19th letter in the alphabet. Okay? The whole 9 yards. The room he goes into. What is that? It's 24, 30. Where'd the jump to 34? Sleepwalkers, guarding tests, Legionnaire. There's a few more that I haven't listed in this specific book, but this is the one on the list that I needed. I think I said most of this anyway. Oh, we're going to get to The Godfather. It's a whole 9 yards with Bruce Willis, Matthew Perry, and Michael Ducan. His room is 519. There you go. Like I said, I found the 519 in The Count of Monte Cristo. It's like I have 72,519 stones in my in the walls or in my room. And he goes, I've counted them many times. And he goes, yes, but have you named them yet? So he starts crying there. Whatever. That scene, I don't find that a coincidence why that's that way. And 72 is a specific number as well. 72. Well, 7 plus 2 is 9. Like Lord of the Rings, 9. 9 rings, 9 people. Yeah, Godfather 2. When Frank, who lives in Michael Corleone's house, who has a specific relationship in the movie because he doesn't like Hyman Roth and doesn't trust Hyman Roth as well, the I think it was a Jewish gang leader or whatever. He's in the movie. He's actually trying to kill Michael. So somehow it's placed in that movie where in a specific spot where everything starts to turn. So I'll be more specific with this one because this one's I didn't even expect to find it. I was just watching. I mean, I was listening to and looking for the numbers, but blew me away when I went, oh, they put it right there. So he's going to court. Frank's going to court, and he's with his bodyguards. And he goes, "Oh, read the newspaper. Read what it says in the newspaper." And he goes, "I read this newspaper 19 times. 19 times." So that's where they put the 19. But then from that saying of that, everything changes. So he got issues with the brother, both their brothers, because Frank goes to court and Michael brings his brother from Sicily to persuade him to change his mind for what he's going to say. Michael has an issue with his brother the scene after this, but that's 19 is spoken. So his brother complains and he says, "You're dead to me." And he tells his bodyguard, "Don't do anything while my mother's alive." So he's dealing with his brother. Then they have the court case. Then his wife gets an abortion. So everything just goes in that direction afterwards from that 19. In Limitless, the film Limitless with Robert De Niro and I don't know his name very well. I don't know his name. I don't know. He was in Place Beyond the Pines. 2011 film. Yeah, Bradley Cooper. There you go. So Bradley Cooper and yeah. So again, they placed the 19 in a specific spot. So that place is after he makes $2 million. So like 2 million and twos, the devil symbol where it says, the goats, which is the ox, Capricorn is ox, which is Venus, and Jordan Maxwell goes into that about Islam and how I focus, and a lot of basic religions focus on Venus and Saturn, and so that's another thing we'll bring up. But two, ox is the second sign in order, and then it's the second planet from the sun, Venus. So that's really, yeah. So I think that's what, to me, that's understanding of that. And it's also an upside down. The head is upside down of the normal star, 5-pointed star, which means that the elements of water and metal are on the top, and fire, earth, and wood are on the bottom, which are the first, second, and third in command is now on the bottom. And then we go into the dragon, rat, and monkey, which the choice of dragon, rat, and monkey is because their water, each one of their metal actually and water control wood. Let's say that the monkey, for example, the monkey has yang metal, where the tiger has yang wood. So you can see the elements chart, the chart of elements, where so yeah. You have the elements there where metal controls wood, wood controls earth, earth controls water, and water controls fire, right? So you got that sort of dynamic thing where we're going to go into where it's right here actually. Yeah, well, it's right there. So you've got the tiger, right? Look at the tiger on this end here. Tiger there, and then the monkey's all the way on this side here. You match it up. The water controls the fire, and then the metal controls the wood of the tiger. And you can see the ox metal controls the wood of the sheep, and the ox water controls the fire of the sheep as well, because they both have earth. So look how metal, water, see how it's on top? See how that works? So that's how this stuff is mapped out. It's very basic. You can see the dragon's water controls the dog, the opposing sign's fire. But the dog has metal where it controls the wood. So this is, that's what it is. But basically, the choice of those three, it's got to do with the yang. So we're moving to Aquarius, right? From Pisces to Aquarius. Now, Pisces and Aquarius are the only two wood element, main element signs. But given the fact that we're going from the dynamic here of the three signs who are opposing, so the dragon's opposing to the dog, right? So dragon and dog are opposing signs. Rat and horse are opposing signs. And then you have the other two, monkey and tiger, are opposing signs, which leads you back to the whole thing of Augustus, the Emperor Augustus from Rome, taking a day from February. So Augustus is equals to August, which is the Leo month. Leo is the monkey. So the monkey, just showed you the monkey, controls the tiger. Takes from February, which is Aquarius, which is the tiger. That's how this goes. And even the astrology has been changed. It's off. From February to August, it goes up goes up 8 days, and then it goes back down to eight days. I'll explain it to you later, but to keep that in mind, that's what happens. That just because of that, everything has been shifted. So it's very hard to put your finger on it. Difficult. So in Limitless, when he has $2 million in his brokerage account, after he's sort of been taking it for a while, he goes home and he has 19 new messages on his answering machine. Looking at what's on his answering machine, he gets a meeting with Carl Van Loon. He gets the next scene after that. He gets his girlfriend back, or the girl that left him. She comes back and they have a meeting in an Italian restaurant. It's like Romans 19 on Robert De Niro's arm in Cape Fear. Right? So everything starts to change from just that point of saying 19 messages, and then everything goes in that direction. He gets a meeting with Carl Van Loon. He goes and sees he gets to act together with her. Everything starts to turn for him. So that's where the 19 is placed in that movie. 19. Oh yeah, no, Leon the Professional. he's killed his first man when he was 19 years old. She was 12 years old, so they mentioned the 12. But he's 500 yards with a lens, so 519, right? He was 19 years old when that happened. G.I. Jane with Demi Moore. They're all holding the boat up. The training scene where they're all holding the boats up at night, and he's like, that little speech. He goes, he says to everyone, he goes, you can just go there and ring the bell and it could be over. He goes, I've been doing this for 19 days and I've got another 12 weeks. So 19 and 12 again. Do I really want to put up with this for another 12 weeks? Right? So the movie Fearless, the 19 was there because it starts in 1900 and ends in 1909. So then, 1909, 1 plus 9 plus 9 is 19. Coincidence? Liar, liar, 19th at 9. 1 plus 9 plus 9 equals 19. The 19th at 9, and then Fearless movies ends in 1909. The yellow, the fact that she was 17, again, the 17 comes up in Liar, Liar. She's got yellow clothes on, yellow shirt. Like in Felon with Val Kilmer, he's wearing a yellow shirt. In Cell 13, like I said, with Cell 13, same year release the TV show Conspiracy 13. So it's showing you that they've connected the dots, and it's showing you that look, we put them in Cell 13. The wall Val Kilmer starts from, the end wall that is Cell 19 to 13. So you got 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. That's 6. Including the 19, it could be 7. But there's no denying that 19, even in the scene, the first scene when it cuts on it, you see it's 19 right there. And then he walks across and it goes up to his face. So you see 19 and then it doesn't even show all the numbers until it gets to Cell 13, where they say, open Cell 13. Gotti. Now, I thought this is what's weird. This is where it connects to the number 19, which is freaky. Because even Chopper Reed said that he'd killed 19 people, which is very funny. I'm wondering if he was given those numbers or something, or I don't know how it works, because that's very strange. But the whole thing of Sammy saying they killed the whole story of giving 19 people, it's like a strange number that they give with Deborah. What's her name? The whole Denial film in 2016, which is off a real, David Irvin and Deborah Lipstick. She said there was 9. They found in all these 30 books, they found 19 mistakes, and then the judge threw out a few of them, and it went to 12. And then they threw out again, and then became 7. Like they couldn't have just. It's so like they're gonna lie to you, but they're gonna tell you the truth as well. Like they're gonna go, yeah, it was 19 mistakes. And why would you even say 19 mistakes out of 30 books, hundreds of things, 19, and then you're gonna bash this guy, still bash this guy based upon 19 mistakes? 19 hijackers in 2001. 19 years to 2020. Just sit with that. But in the movie Gotti Number, the car that blows up in the film, look at the license plate. The numbers calculate to 19. So that's another weird confirmation about the number 19. Swordfish, that's a big one. Because he goes, when he's getting the girls going down on him, and he's sort of got the gun to his head. He claps his hand when he's counting down. What's his name's the moss hat dude. It shows you in the movie. Like, I don't understand why we're so anyway. Okay. John Travolta. Wow. John Travolta's character's counting down. There's 45 seconds, but he doesn't say every single number. So he's doing the typing up, and so he goes, all right, he goes, and he says, after a while, 2019. And then when he says 2019, he does that. Like, come on. That's just one. Then we're going to go to the other ones. But like that, just look at that. 2019. And he claps his hand. You want the other one? Okay. So you got the swordfish. What's the $9.5 billion broken into different accounts? What's the number that you can see on each effing account? 1900000 19000 19000 19000 190. Okay. All right. So it's not going to go. So that's seems to be at least 31 films I've listed. Or more, actually. There's more because I've added a few in there. So there's probably 34 or 35 already. Let's show you this page. This is the basic thing you can look up. So L, Saturn, Israel, COVID, rat, dragon. That's the year of the monkey, which is in America, Israel. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's on a movie with Colin Farrell, where it's on 53rd Street. And 53rd Street, 53, this COVID, COVID into letters. Letters into numbers calculates to 53. So I'm watching the movie, and then they're on the street. He's on 53rd Street. So then I thought that's COVID. And then I looked it up. Someone said, look up the numbers are how many in COVID. And it calculated to be that. So, yeah, I still have to go through I haven't got the movie, but when I get it again, when I watch the movie, well, you can watch it, go look for the 19, see where the 19's placed there. So the dragon year, which is, Torah and the Talmud, that start with a T. So I just put the 20 years. So from the year 2000 is a dragon year. 20 years rounded off number is 2020, and then 20 years later, so 40 years, like 40 years in the desert in the Bible story code, which is not 40 years in the desert, but it's something else. It's being played out here because that's how this is working out. And you got the number order 322 of the Skull and Bones, and I just abbreviation of the COV, then ID, and then 19. Sleepwalkers, the movie with like a horror film. The cop car at the end she drives home in after killing all the police is 3826, which equals 19. Guarding Tess with Nicolas Cage and Shirley MacLaine. The president, besides for the license plates all calculating to a weird thing like the car. Look at the car license plates, Nicolas Cage's and his other security guards. That's his calculates to 20, and then another car calculates to 911. Like, I think it says 9, and the other one has a 911. We'll talk about that another time, but I'll go into it better when I'm actually watching, if I can watch the movie with you. There's 19 at the gas station as well. When she runs away the first time, there's a 19 there on the gas station. But guarding Tess, the 19th, it's March 19, where president's coming to visit her, and then he changes his mind and changes the meeting, and then she sort of feels a bit sad, but they get a letter and she gives it to him, and then you can see it's March 19th, which January, February, March is the third month. So that's COVID, COV-19, because you can see COV-19 is what they've posted everywhere. So that connects to also Hollow Man 2, the end of the film when he's poisoned. He goes, "What did you give me?" She goes, C19. 6004, 64. It's the same kind of thing, and they've got a lot of that. And there's a lot of numbers, like, because that's not what the 19 was, basically. The first 19, there's 40. She mentions 40 winks, because in the beginning, in Hollow Man 2, the detectives are talking because there's guys in the bathroom being killed, cut his throat, whatever. So he's the invisible dude's going to the person's house that the guy that he killed told them to go to. Her house number, her numbers are 4 numbers. I think it's 27, 30 something. Whatever. One of those 4 numbers, if you calculate them together, they calculate to 19. So that's why I followed. Then it also goes to other things where you're in the police station when the coffee drops on him. There's like 19 in there as well. So it's like tracking stuff. And then the last scene where he dies, he gets killed by a yellow liquid. He gets turned into an invisible dude with a blue and gets killed by a yellow. Right? Legionnaire, Van Damme. And there's actually a couple movies, because there's another movie, I can't remember the name of it. I gotta go look at it again, because it's a bit broad. Van Damme saves Chinese girl. But it's Wake of Death, is it? No, it's not the one. It's the film. There's a movie, I can't remember the name of it now. I think it's Wake of Death. You're likely thinking of, actually, ex-mobbing force who wages war against Chinese tries to rescue a young Chinese girl and has a kid and his kidnapped son. Yeah, that's the one. So Wake of Death, 2004. The police officer that gets tortured, he tells them where the gang is. And it's on Pier 19. There you go. There's that one. So you've got that one on Legionnaire with Van Damme, where the Italian dude, he carries the Italian dude in the desert. Their first battle, right? The first battle they have, and people die and stuff like that, and especially the Italian dude that we've been, following, and he's been having a bond with. And he gets shot in the heart, but not before saving the colonel or the boss dude that we all sort of, don't know his name right now, but he's in a movie with he's in The Tourist, 2010, The Tourist with Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp, the guy who's the other actor, the villain dude, whatever, the mob boss, whatever. He's in that. He's in Legionnaire. So he gets saved by the Italian dude to which he wanted to let him die. Right? And then Van Damme goes, he died a Legionnaire. And he goes, so did 19 other brave Legionnaires today. They placed 19. Not 20, not 18, 19. So right now, I think that is enough until I have a memory of a few others, which there's a couple ones that are not on this list. So okay, that was pretty good. It was just an hour and a bit, so that's pretty good. So you can look through them and go have a look. I wish I've got timers and stuff, but you can look it up pretty easily. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through. I suppose there's a few things here. Yeah, there we go. So, the Devil's Advocate. A huge hog beast. Pig. Hog's a pig, right? Hog beast. Mount Sinai Hospital. Fun ass Sinai. Sin AI. Sin is the moon. 5 years. So for 5 years, 64 straight wins. Jacksonville. Roman, Greek philosophy, Jewish law. Because I just remembering Jordan Maxwell saying that our society is Roman structure, Greek philosophy, and Jewish law. Islamic subgroup mentions in that. The courtroom number is 303, which is like 330, or I think it's 303. So the same in the Matrix. When he walks the door at the end, he gets shot in 33. It's like they're showing you that's what you're going to deal with as a Neo or whatever. Call those other children, I will. It's a line. Oh, I mentioned that. Call those other children, I will. Round 20. Who mentions that? Round 20. But 16, 19, 10. Yeah, it wasn't 12. It was 10. 16, 19, 10. She's singing in the church. But then I looked up the number 16, 19, 10, and it connected to 16, 19, 31. Luke, 16, 19, 31. Lazarus. I was thinking of David Bowie. And Romans 16, 19. Matthew 16, 19. Revelations 18. Babylon. That's got to do with Alexander. Alexander's 18. Also, I was thinking about October 7th, 7th of October. So 7 plus 10, so the 10th month, and plus 10 is 17. That's L, E-L. Yeah, I was thinking of the level that they were on in the film. There's a level 3S. So that's COVID-19. C-O-V, and then S is the 19th letter. Stuff like that. Halo lighting, United Orient Bank. Fucked 40 ways from Sunday. So this is the number 40. Like in Meet Joe Black, where he says, at my 40th reunion, we delivered a casket to the class president's hotel room. And he's like, quiet. Where are you going, Bill? The great Bill Parrish has a loss for words. Deliriously happy. And there's Alexander. So his daughter's name's Alexandria. and his name is Alexander Cullen. The triple murder, right? Triple murder. Channel 3, 3 hours, 3 murders. $20,000 churches, 7 children between them. She's talking about her sister. She goes, well, the family is Charlize Theron's character, and she mentions 7 children between them. And then there's having a conversation later on about 20,000. There's 20,000 churches in this city. She wants to go to church. I miss my church. Something. Yeah, it's not an accident. Alexandra, and Italian from Greek is Alexandra. Alessandra. I think that's her name, Alessandra. So it's like Greek Italian, which goes on. The first to take Egypt is the Greeks, and then the second to take Egypt is the. Well, actually, the first to take Egypt was Babylon. But then the Greeks are first, and the Italians were second. Cullen, and I look at what Cullen means, equals the handsome one or puppy hound. Actually, it's holly tree. Also connects to holly tree. Twelfth Ward Mental Hospital, 12 floors down. So I was just thinking about the 12 because she's in the 12th Ward Mental Hospital, and then they're 12 floors down. 16th level. They're actually on the 16th level, and they're talking about 16, 19, 10, and they're on the 16th level. Ten-year-old girl. So the 16, 19, and the 10, right? The one thing that you don't see is the 9. They mentioned already the 19. Like they talk about the 10-year-old girl. So that's later on where the guy in the beginning gets caught with a 10-year-old girl on the bottom in the back of a car, and then they're on level 16. So it just shows you how they're connecting the numbers to certain events. So the 19 is definitely, you got the end of the movie where the whole streets are empty, which looks like COVID-19 had been there. Television, to tell a vision. Yeah, because like there's COVID-19 empty streets, and you see there's like a cinema with 1 and a 2 there, which is calculates to 12, which is 2019 is the 12th astrological finished. So yeah, it's the ending, and it starts again at 2020 with the rat year again, which Israel was established in the year of a rat. 2008, the year of the rat, was the last actual rat year before 2020. Why the law, right? So think about how he says a Jewish law. Yes, the law puts us into everything. New priesthood. Eddie's funeral was 11 a.m. and then he goes 9 a.m. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. This movie is before COVID, before 9/11, but and 9 plus 11 is 20. So they put 9/11, right? Did 9/11 in 2001, knowing that 2020 was the ending, and they're showing you 9 and 11. So, all right. Oh yeah, Gross Point Blank. The 19 is on the building. Oh, also Collateral. Oh, also forgot another movie. Thank you. Yeah, see, Jack Reacher, 2012, I think. The 19 is there's a 5 and the 19, and the way they connect the 5 and 19 is going to take a little long to describe. So you've got the scene with Robert Duvall. Obviously, there's no other scene with him other than the gun range. And anyway, blah, blah, blah. He gives him the evidence through the video of where James Barr brought a person with him. And you look at the left corner, the right, your right, the right corner. There's a 5.1 there, okay? 5.0, sorry, not 1. 5.0 in that corner, where you see there's the first time you have an evidence that they can get his photo. Later on, he calls up the lawyer, and the lawyer has been kidnapped by these guys. So they're there on the phone and they're talking, and he threatens them, right? He says, I've got your prints and I've got your recording. The lawyer's yours. And he hangs up, right? And he goes, ding. When they look at the phone, besides the fact of they're not really caring about the, what do you call it? The numbers are off. So in the conversation, there's been 1 minute talking, And then when he hangs up, it's 19 seconds. 0.19. So the connection between what we're remembering from the screenshot of the 5, I think it's 0.5 or 5.0. Anyway, it's a 5 there. 5 with that shot, and then 19 on the phone when he hangs up. And they both look at it, and that's where the 19 is there. But besides for that, it goes a bit deeper and freakier with there's 7 people to kill at the end of that movie. And the deaths are actually almost so the guy, so if his first guy gets killed, he kills him with a rock. So it's a rock, right? So C, poof, hits his head, he falls, he kills him. Next guy gets shot with a burst fire. So a burst fire, he kills that guy. Because Robert Duvall shoots him, but he doesn't die. So Tom Cruise kills all 7 of them. So then Robert Duvall gets into a truck, a big one, with a 4 on it. We're talking about the 4, right? He kills another 2 people. Tom Cruise kills another 2 people after that. So he kills the first guy's box C, and then the second guy's an O, burst fire. Then 2 guys with burst fire, another 2 guys. So kills 2 guys. That's 3 guys. 1, 2. It's 4 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th is the other guy. He kills in hand-to-hand combat. So that's C is a rock, and then D is the boot. So he kills him with the boot. Funny enough that there's number 4 on the truck, and he's he kills 4 people, and there's 4 on the truck. But anyway, he kills number 5. He kills him, so he's 5. So that's COVID, and then there's 2 left. So he kills 5 people outside, and then there's 2 left. He kills with 1 shot each. Like it's COVID-19. Because they're killed inside of a building. Which connects me to another part of another film where he goes, how do they fit it's Ben Stiller or something. It's like, how do they fit inside of the building or something? And it's talking about a computer, I think. He's talking about a computer? Why did that come up? It just connects AI inside of a computer as a building, whatever. So that was that. There's other things that I can. There's more. There's heaps more. But that's the basic ones I can give you there. Collateral is at this gas station after he kills the 2 guys in the alley. There's all the numbers except for in the gas station, you see there's a big 19 on the cigarettes board. There's $3.19, so 3 like 319 or C19, so COVID-19. And then all the numbers actually on that board, besides for the 19, it's in its own box. That's what's weird about it. It's in its own little box. They all calculate to 19. All the numbers calculated together besides for that 19 calculate to 19. What was that connection? In the movie Drive, her apartment number is 408, which calculates 12 by itself, but also 1948. And it's in that apartment that the 19 is mentioned. Before the meeting, what's the scene? And also put the number 40,000. Expected 40,000. Nina is 59 years old. I was thinking 1959 is a peak Earth year. Chinese restaurant at the end where the virus was found. And also the movie that's released this year is called Crime 101 with Mark Ruffalo. And Mark Ruffalo is like supportive of the Palestinian stuff, right? But he's also supportive of the vaccines and all that stuff. So it's all very insane. But Palestine, Palestine, in numbers, turned to numbers, is 101. So 101 plus Israel 64 is 165. 1 plus 6 plus 5 is 12. So yeah. Oh my god, I missed that one. Well, sorry. The Guest movie. The Guest, the number. That's actually how I found more about the combination of 81, 19, or 19, 18. Placed everywhere. They did it in The Rock with Nicolas Cage, and there's a lot of that 1981 or 1918, or they put those numbers together. But then the phone, when she gets the phone and she finds the list of numbers, there's 4 numbers on the list. 278, that equals 17. So it's 278, 555, 1492. And then the next one is 505, 666, 1981. So there's a 19 by itself there. In that whole combination, there's a 219. But with that number, you got 1981. 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 is 19. So 666 and 505, which is 10. And then the number underneath that is 278, 555, 1492. The number of that is 278, 555, 1492. So they're all the same numbers except for that one. And that's where they put the 19 there. And the connection between the how Snake Eyes movie is, well, it's different, a little bit different, but it's still the same thing because he goes to school and the school has a big green horse in the wall and it's a horse emblem, right? Horse, what do you call it? Emblem or statue or representative thing of the school. 2014 is when the guest film was released, and that happens to be a wood horse year. Now, wood is a green color in the Chinese things. That's wood is green, and there's a big green horse in the school. So obviously, it wasn't made in 2014, but it was made before. But they knew that they were going to release it in that year for whatever reason. They released it. The M, the big M, Pintos, which 13th letter in the alphabet is M, which connects to another movie where they put a random, seemingly random, but when you look at it, it's not random. It's in 2006 film Electricity. It's a Spanish, based on a Spanish soldier. Follows him in his this young kid sort of thing. He takes care of. So he's in the bar with all the guys, and then he's reading the letter, and he goes, "What letter is that?" And he says M, and I was like, "That's strange. Why would they just put that there?" But then you think about the depth of it, like I've been talking about it. 13 is the specific one. Five. There you go. That's the number of the house. So 2737. 2 plus 7 plus 3 plus 7 is equals 19. That's, sorry, I'm saying the hollow man, the number on the hollow man 2. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening. And oh yeah, the money train. Missed that one. What's that film? I missed it. There's so many more. Money Train, another one. There's two Wesley Snipes films. The Heist 2001 with Gene Hackman, another 19. Okay. Shutting down. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you soon.